What's up YouTube, Jamie the Kid 00 here, and I'm bringing you guys a recap or redone version 2.0 of 3.5 axis fire or 3 axis fire, whatever you want to call it. I'm really sorry to be bringing you the same deck again in quick succession, and I will more than likely take down the last deck profile I did of this, and hopefully I'll have multiple uploads the day I put this up so that you're not losing out on a day of deck profiles on basically the same thing. But I felt that my initial build that I literally just threw together with zero testing wasn't very good looking back on it, and I've recently gotten in a few more of the cards that I want to play in the list, and I've made a few more edits, and I'm a bit more comfortable with this. I took it to my testing session today. It went okay. Some of the matchups I played against I wasn't really used to, so I made a few misplays, like playing against the new Trick or Treat, the Ghost Trick Madolche deck. I still need to learn how to play against that, but I'm pretty satisfied with how the deck is performing. So I'm going to give you guys a profile of this. I'm still going to talk theory a bit, but that's only because I'm probably going to take down the other video, or maybe I'll leave it up because it is like the top of the search list if you search like Firefist April at the moment, so it's kind of popular. So we're going to get into the profile. The one Spirit, it's a shame it's at 1, but to be fair, it generates so much stupid advantage turn 1. It's probably good to keep it at 1. 2 Firefist Roosters. I feel that 3 was a bit too many. I did like the modulation of it. I definitely liked the way it could cycle through fire formations, but at the same time, in my testing, it was getting fairly cloggy, fairly fast. So I kind of sacrificed that little bit of utility, and in exchange for clogginess, in exchange for reducing the clogginess, and I'm happy with it at 2. 2 is a good number. A friend of mine recommended me going to 1, but oh no. I don't want to take it to 1. And then 3 copies of Leopard. You heard my theory in the last video on Leopard. Basically, this version doesn't play Karkadi because Leopard is your Karkadi. Leopard is you summon it when you don't want to make a push. You summon it to get to something you need to get to, i.e. your fire formations. Karkadi generates you advantage as well, but this generates you just as much advantage, I guess, through your formation, because it gets you to the specific card you want, rather than drawing you to possibly random cards. So that's the 3s I play. Those are the only level 3s. I then play 3 copies of Brotherhood of the Firefist Bear. Bear is still the single best standalone Firefist monster in the deck, in the archetype, so playing 3 is still really strong. Just those random bear pokes can get you so much advantage. In tandem with a lance, the card is almost unstoppable, so Bear is just silly. Then the 1 Gorilla, because you want to have archetype-based back row removal, you want to have searchable back row removal, so it is really good. And I'm testing 1 Dragon. I want to play multiple Wolfbarks, but of course Wolfbark is at 1 in April format, and this is built for April format. And something this deck does a lot better than 4 axis is actually generate fire formations at an alarming rate. This deck generates a lot of fire formations really quickly, especially with Rooster. So you often have fuel for your dragon. I find myself not really using its first effect that often because I always seem to draw the trap. I only play 1 copy of the trap, but his second effect, it makes him kind of like a pseudo Wolfbark. There's also a 1 card Cardinal if you can resolve it, whereas Wolfbark can't make Cardinal. Unless, of course, you've got another Firefist. You know, Wolfbark on its own can't make Cardinal. So this is quite good. It's definitely filling in for a second Wolfbark, and it's been putting in a fair amount of work. That 1800 body backed up by fire formations is pretty strong. And then, as I was talking about him, the lone wolf, Coach Soldier Wolfbark is still in here, still going strong, still absolutely ridiculous because of the fact that you've got your Wolfbark and you've got your I'll drop everything now. You've got your Wolfbark and your Spirit. Things get pretty crazy when you've basically got 2 real powerful cards. I mean, you can make your 1 Spirit play, your opponent commits to try and stop this card, and then you can go, oh, okay, Tensu, summon this, can you commit to this as well? Oh, but I had the Lance for this, so you burned loads of stuff on this. So when you've got those 2 together and a Tensu, you're almost unstoppable. So that's the monster lineup. I believe it's only like 12 monsters, it's really small. But they're all invaluable. Like, your monsters should go really far. They're not really throwaway monsters like in some other decks like Gadgets. For your spells, 1 Dark Hole. I'm still not playing Book in this. I should probably be playing Book, but Book's alright. 1 Rekindling. I've been testing this a little bit more, and while it does frustrate me that Rooster's got 100 defense and not 200 defense, and it did lose me a game for that specific reason earlier on, I feel the Rekindling is still pretty strong. If you really focus on turboing your Leopards into the grave and your Spirit, this card can become a lot more live. With Rooster at 2 in the deck rather than 3, I found myself occasionally searching leopards with horse prints instead of roosters. So, you know, searching those leopards and then immediately tributing them really rushed the leopards into the grave a lot quicker, making the Rekindling live and a lot more powerful. So, the Rekindling. Then 3 MST. I still like MST at 3 in this deck. It's really, really strong in the mirror, really good against Mermail, really good at clearing lone back rows for your bears to make pokes and things like that. And I hate to say it, but sometimes if I have Gyokkou in this, I will blind space one card and Gyokkou the other one, or I will blind space and hope that like my Lance will protect my bear and things like that. So the MSTs are in there just for the removal to make sure your pushes go through, and it's also deadly against Fiendish Chain. Like Fiendish Chain is a card that's running at 3 in the format currently, from what I've been seeing and testing. All of my friends are running Fiendish Chain at 3 if they're playing it at all, really. So triple MST is really, really strong at stopping Fiendish Chain from stopping your Wolfbarks, your Exitons, things like that. And then I'm playing double Lance, as if you weren't already punching your way through traps. You really want to get those hits to push home. Lance also has a great utility with things like Bear, because it means that if your opponent is going to be attacking the Bear, you can like damage step Lance their stuff, so the Bear gets you other free searches. It's got a lot of utility, both as an offensive and defensive card, so I definitely love it in this deck. Continuing through, I cut Duality down to 2 from 3. I felt that Triple Duality was a bit much in this deck, especially because I found myself drawing multiples a lot, and you don't want to go 2 turns without special summoning in this version of the deck, because this version of the deck is a lot faster than 4-axis. In 4-axis, you can play 3 Duality out the wazoo and not even care, but in 3-axis, you really want to be open to special summoning, so 2 Duality is a perfect number for me in this deck. I still like it, I still definitely like it, because it really helps you find the good card to make your kind of grind game hand a little bit stronger. Or get towards your combo pieces if you haven't opened the combo, but at the same time with 3, whenever I was opening the combo, I was essentially opening a dead Duality as well, so it wasn't that nice, and I often had to set it as a bluff. Continuing on into the fire formations, play 3 copies of Tenki, compulsory, gotta play this, it's the Searcher. I bumped up to 3 copies of Tensu, just because I needed more fire formations to search. Tensu is your 100 booster, and also just this invaluable ability to normal summon an extra time per turn is absolutely insane, so why not play that? And then the 1 Gyokkou. Someone said play 2. No, 2 is too many, because this card essentially does nothing. It just locks down a back row and gives your guys plus 100. I feel that having 2 is going to be really bad, because I really don't want to lock down 2 of my back row. And this is going to sound really bad, but if I wanted to lock down 2 of my opponent's back row, or have the effect of 2 Gyokkou, I'd just play Xingzhenhu. I'd just play Xingzhenhu, the trap that locks down 2 back row. It's the same thing. So Gyokkou is in there for when I want to search it and when I need it, and if I draw it, cool. But a lot of the time I will search it to go, that 1 back row, I don't know what it does, it wasn't live at the moment, but I'm going to lock it down anyway. Or that 1 back row, that could stop my play, I'm going to lock it down. Those are the only times I want to play it. No others. So I don't like multiples. Multiples is just horrible. So that's the spell lineup. Pretty substantial spells. And then the trap lineup, I couldn't be happier with, to be honest. The trap lineup is 1 Fire Formation Tensen. It's to search with your Tiger King and your Dragon. It's in there as an option. When your opponent sees it, if they see it in like game 1 and things like that, they will constantly fear this. They won't know how many you're playing, so it's really, really good in that regard. But otherwise, it's just really strong. Damage step plus 1,000, and then giving all your guys plus 300 for like a whole for forever until it dies is pretty damn strong. I then play 2 Call of the Haunted. Wolfbark being at 1 is pretty painful, so being able to Call of the Haunted your Wolfbarks is pretty nice. Being able to Call of the Haunted your Firefist guys, your Beast Warriors, if you have like a set Tensen or set Lances, can really be good, because you can Call of the Haunted a guy, your opponent goes, okay, replay attack. Like in battle phase, you Call of the Haunted, they go replay attack, you go Lance, you get to search fire formation. Win-win. Call of the Haunted just brings a lot of utility into the deck. I then play double Fiendish Chain. I don't like 3 in this deck, because I've just not really been fancying 3 at the moment. I definitely side the 3rd, and I side 2 Veilers, but 2 Fiendishes is good enough for me. 2-dimensional Prison, because I really like Prison at the moment. Prison is really nice. A card I'm really not liking it 2 of at the moment is Mirror Force, but I'm currently testing it. When I've recently been playing it, it's not been fantastic. I've actually really enjoyed playing 1 of these, and I'd probably cut 1 for another Fiendish Chain, because I think Fiendish Chain is really, really good at the moment. But 2 Mirror, and then finally the 1 Bottomless, the 1 Torrential, and the 1 Solemn Warning for the traps. So that is the complete main deck, 40 cards. We're going to move on to the extra deck. The extra deck has seen a few changes. I'm definitely a lot happier with it now. Playing double Brotherhood of the Firefist Horse Prince, and this time I'm not going to make the mistake I made in the other video, which I'm not going to talk about. I play double Horse Prince because, in all honesty, you'll only ever make the play for Horse Prince twice. You'll make it once the natural way, hopefully, if you don't get Fiendish Chain and things like that. You'll make it once naturally just by using Spirit's Effect, and then the second one you will either make by adding Spirit back with Lion Emperor, or by using Rekindling. So that's why there's only 2 in there. And then the third card I'm playing is another option is Celestial Wolf Lord Blue Sirius. It's just a card in here that isn't Horse Prince. It doesn't lock me out of special summoning a level 5 or higher monster for the rest of the turn. It's just a more offensive body rather than this. It's only 200 more, but it's an option. That's why he's in there. So that is the Synchro portion. We'll just push those off the camera. I play 1 rank 3 in the form of Lion Emperor. When I cut down the Rooster, I found myself making less rank 3s, so I didn't need to play the Zen mains. So 1 Lion Emperor was in there. For my rank 4s, I'm playing double Tiger King. You really need to play double Tiger King. The only reason I didn't play double Tiger King in the original video was because I didn't have 2. I didn't own 2. I now own 2. I managed to get one in a trade today. So double Tiger King is in here. Another card I play 2 of if I actually had it is Cardinal. I only have the 1, but he's still stunningly good. You hardly ever make 2. But you can make one in the natural means, and you sometimes make one with a dragon as well. So it's an option. You definitely need like double Tiger King more than you need double Cardinal. But double Cardinal is an option. So like I'm playing something to replace that that's just as devastating at 2. But Cardinal's good enough. 1 Bujinte Kagutsuchi. It's really, really resistant. It's better than Mace Stroke because this deck can actually make this. It's like Mace Stroke, but it's 2500 and doesn't flip stuff face down. Yes, the milling is a problem, but sometimes if you haven't used your Spirit yet, you can mill targets and things like that. It has a little bit of utility. Yes, the milling is a pain, but 2500, well, you know, it's hard to say no to a 2500 Mace Stroke. So pretty strong. And then playing 1 Diamond Direwolf. You're playing a deck of Beast Warriors. Diamond Direwolf is going to make sense. Continuing on from the Diamond Direwolf, I'm currently playing double Exodon Knight. The second one is in here in place of the Cardinal, and I'm kind of liking this. Yes, you do generate a lot of what we call false advantage in this deck, in the form of the fire formations, but when you find yourself low down on advantage, if your opponent is putting you under pressure, cards like Wolfbark and Dragon can definitely put you in positions where you can make this quite easily. Dragon really minuses you into this, because of Dragon's cost to send 2 fire formations, that can often minus you far enough down to get to your Exodon Knight. There have been games in which I have made 2, it's not just like an extra option that you will never make, it's definitely a card you can do, and because of Dragon, you definitely do cost yourself down a bit. But the second one, I guess, could do with being a Cardinal. I'm kind of impartial to which one it is. You make the second Exodon about as often as you make the second Cardinal, but it's in there, and I'm liking it. I'm liking it. And then otherwise, I play 4 one-offs in the form of 1 number 101 Silent Monarch, 1 Dweller, 1 Cowboy, and then finally I'm testing 1 Forgotten Strike Bouncer. This is either going to be Strike Bouncer or Messiah 7. I'm really liking Messiah 7 instead of this recently, because Messiah 7 can bounce you a Spirit or a Wolfbark out of your grave back to your hand, which is good replenishment of your hand. So that's why I like it. But to be honest, the only cards in this extra deck you'll be making really ever, like you'll realize there aren't that many utility rank 4s you'll make in here. Literally the only cards you'll ever really make with any kind of frequency are these. I mean, you might not even make Lion Emperor, and you'll make Horse. You'll probably like make this in your average game, this in maybe one of your more drawn out games, and this in some of your longest games. And like the longest games will probably feature one of these, maybe, and maybe one of these. But you won't make much in this deck. A lot of the things. There are so many other rank 4s you can play, but they're cards that you should almost never need. These are literally the cards you're going to make almost all the time. But otherwise, that about brings us to the end of this video. I'm going to apologize again. I am sorry to bring you guys the same deck profile again, basically. But to be quite frank, it needed redoing. The last one was pretty bad. So I'm sorry if you watched the last one and were hoping for something different. I'm now going to take this apart and make 4-axis fire. I do want to test 4-axis, and I have been testing it on Dueling Network to great success, so I do need to bring that to you guys. But yeah, sorry to do another for 3.5 axis video, but I hope you've enjoyed. I hope this gave you a little bit more insight. If you guys were interested in the last video, this gives you a bit of my kind of development in the process of that, and I'll see you guys next time with some more Yu-Gi-Oh! Related content. This has been Jamie the Kid 00. Peace out.